Most emotionally reactive people don't think they're reactive. They think they say it how it is. They think they're logical or just passionate. But here's the truth: emotional reactivity doesn't only look like losing it all the time, it looks like urgency. It looks like over explaining yourself. It looks like rehearsing over and over in your mind. Today, I'm going to show you 7 subtle signs you're emotionally reactive, not emotionally aware. And for each sign, I'll give you an evidence based tool to build the skill that emotionally aware people have. Sign one is that you feel an urge to respond immediately. If you're emotionally reactive, you don't just want to respond, you feel like you have to. A text comes in that bothers you, a comment feels disrespectful, a partner gives feedback, and your body goes, now, fix it now, defend now, correct now. It looks like replying instantly to criticism, arguing before you understand, sending messages that you later delete too late. Your nervous system hits fight or flight. And in that state, your brain prioritizes action over reflection. That's emotional dysregulation in a suit and tie. Here's the tool: the 90-second rule. When you feel the urge to react, wait 90 seconds before responding. During those 90 seconds, take one slow breath. Notice what emotion is there. Let the surge pass without feeding it. If you can wait 90 seconds, it can wait 10 minutes. Emotional surges tend to peak and begin to drop within a minute or so if you don't reinforce them with rumination or impulsive action. Right now, think of the last message you regret sending. If you had waited 90 seconds, would you have written it the same way? Sign two, you explain instead of getting curious. Someone gives you feedback and your brain immediately starts building a defense case. That's not what I meant. You misunderstood me. Okay, but what I was trying to say was, that's defensiveness. And it's one of the cleanest tells that you're reactive. Criticism registers as a social threat, and social threat hits the same circuits that physical threat does. Reactive mind says, protect identity. Aware mind says, investigate experience. So here's the tool: the curiosity question. Train yourself to ask one question before you defend. Instead of, that's not what I meant, try, can you help me understand what it felt like from your side? Or even simpler, what did you hear me saying there? Curiosity flips the brain from threat mode into learning mode, more prefrontal cortex and less amygdala. Curiosity is the antidote to defensiveness. And here's the part most people miss: defensiveness doesn't protect your relationship, it protects your ego and costs closeness. Sign three, your body reacts before your mind. A lot of people say, I'm not emotional, but their body tells the truth first. They have a tight jaw, shallow breathing, clenched shoulders, racing thoughts, stomach drops. Most emotional reactivity shows up physiologically before you have words for it. People call it stress, but often it's emotion you haven't identified yet. So here's the tool: the body scan interrupt and 2 long exhales. When you notice tension, ask, what am I feeling in my body? What emotion might this be? Then take 2 slow exhales, longer than your inhale. Longer exhalations signal safety in the nervous system and reduce stress arousal. You're basically telling your body, we're not being attacked. Your body usually notices emotions before your mind does. If you master nothing else in this video, master catching the body signals early, because once the body escalates, the mouth starts going off. If any of these signs so far show up for you or someone that you know, comment, "That's me," or "That's them," and give the video a like so that more people can become a little more emotionally aware and make the world around us a little bit easier on all of us. Here's sign number 4. You rehearse arguments in your head. You're driving, showering, just walking, and your mind is scrutinizing every last word and action like a fifth grade teacher with a red pen. "I shouldn't have said this. And then they would have said that. No, here's what I'll say next time." This is rumination, and rumination is strongly associated with emotional dysregulation. The reactive mind tries to resolve threat mentally, but rumination doesn't solve it. It just keeps your nervous system activated like the argument is still happening. So here's the tool: label and redirect. When you notice the loops, say internally, "I'm noticing my mind replaying the argument." Then redirect attention to something concrete: the road in front of you, the sensations of water in the shower, the feeling of your feet on the floor, one full breath. And then direct your attention towards something meaningful to you and move forward. This is cognitive diffusion. You're separating from the thought instead of fusing with it. If your mind is arguing with someone who isn't there, that's rumination. Sign number 5 is you try to eliminate emotions instead of understanding them. This is the high functioning version of emotional reactivity. It often gives people the illusion that they're not being emotionally reactive. You don't explode, you suppress it, distract, rationalize, or avoid. But trying to eliminate emotion is often just reactivity in a calmer outfit. Emotionally aware people don't ask, "How do I get rid of this?" They ask, "What is this trying to tell me?" So here's the tool: the emotion question. Ask, "What is this emotion trying to tell me?" Then identify the likely message. Anger might be something like a boundary was crossed, violation, injustice, or a reality mismatch. Sadness might mean loss, disappointment, or unmet need. Anxiety might be uncertainty, perceived risk, or a lack of control. Labeling emotions, even simply naming them, is associated with better regulation and reduced reactivity. It organizes brain's response instead of letting it flood you. Emotions are signals, not problems. Your emotions aren't ruining your life, but your relationship with your emotions might be. Sign number 6, you regret what you said when emotional. Almost everyone has this moment. "I didn't mean that. That came out wrong. That's not who I am." When emotions spike, the brain's regulation systems go offline. So you become more impulsive, less choice, more discharge. This is one of the clearest indicators that you're reactive and not aware. Your mouth moves faster than your values. So here's the tool: the draft message rule. When you're upset, write the text, write the email, write the paragraph, but don't send it for at least 10 minutes. And then do something else in the meantime. This is the modern version of Abraham Lincoln's hot letters. During the Civil War, Lincoln was furious at General Meade after Gettysburg. He wrote a harsh letter, disappointed, sharp, and cutting. And then he did something most people can't do. He never sent it. He folded it and put it in a drawer. It was only discovered after his death. Historians call them his hot letters, writing in anger but never delivered. Writing discharges activation. Delay protects your future self from your current nervous system. Write the message, just don't send it yet. Sign number 7, you assume intent instead of asking. Reactive minds don't just feel something, they assign meaning. They ignored me on purpose. They're disrespecting me. They're trying to control me. That's not emotional awareness. That's a story your nervous system wrote. In emotion research, this connects to appraisal and attribution bias. How we interpret events determines the emotional intensity. Emotionally aware minds ask, what else could explain this? So here's the tool, the three explanation rule. Before concluding someone's intent, generate three plausible explanations. Instead of they ignored me because they don't respect me, try something like they were distracted, they misunderstood, they were stressed or overwhelmed. Generating alternatives reduces biased appraisal and weakens the emotional certainty that fuels reactivity. Your first explanation is usually emotional, not accurate. So here's the principle that ties everything together. Emotional reactivity tries to win the argument. Emotional awareness tries to understand the emotion. Reactivity collapses the space between feeling and action. Awareness expands it. And that space is where your best self lives. In SEAL training, candidates sit in freezing water. The hardest part isn't the cold, it's what the mind starts saying. I can't handle this. This is unbearable. I need to get out. The ones who make it do something simple but powerful. They label the experience. I'm noticing cold. I'm noticing panic. I'm noticing my mind telling me to quit. That naming creates psychological distance, and distance creates personal power and influence. You don't need to be less emotional. You need to be a better observer and interpreter of emotion before it drives behavior. If you recognized yourself in this video, here's the win. You're not too sensitive. You're not broken. You're not weak. You're just running an outdated strategy. Act fast to feel safe. This week, pick one tool. The 90-second rule, curiosity question, body scan and long exhales, label and redirect, emotion message map, draft message rule, the three explanation rule, and practice expanding the space because the goal isn't perfect control, the goal is choice. If you want more on interpreting emotions without letting them run your life, check out my video on the message of emotions. And if this helped, like and subscribe because we're building emotional strength in every video.